Today, I want to talk about exercise, the dreaded E word. If you do not exercise, you should, and my guest today will help tell you why. Jill Edwards received her BA in education from the University of Michigan and an MS in exercise science from Oakland University. She is a certified clinical exercise specialist through the American College for Sports Medicine and is the director of education for the Center for Nutrition Studies. Jill has attended Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's heart disease reversal program and has 8 years experience helping patients recover in cardiopulmonary rehab. I hope you enjoy the interview. So welcome, Jill Edwards. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for being here and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me something. Were you an active kid? Was exercise always a part of your life?
It was. So I was a competitive dancer growing up. So it was always my fun, and exercise was kind of incorporated into one, which was nice, which is what it's really important. Unless you're enjoying what you're doing, oftentimes you don't want to exercise or move your body if it's not something you're having fun with.
It seems to be what people struggle with is defining what makes it fun. There's this assumption that exercise has to be painful and burdensome. And
No.
in my lifetime, the exercise I've enjoyed the most has always been fun.
Yeah, just like the organic movement, as opposed to some people do really well with structured exercise, and some people prefer just to have overall movement, parking further, taking long walks, walking dogs, etc. So everyone's a little different. It's just really important that we all get out there and move.
Some people, do better with a trainer. Do you think that that's a good place to start for people, is to hire a trainer?
Yeah. So in terms of a personal trainer, it can be really effective, especially if you are newer to exercise or if your routine has not been working for you. Then I think a personal trainer can be really effective on kind of keeping you on track and keeping you motivated.
You think that's, if you've not exercised for a long period of time, is that the best way to start, is maybe with a trainer or a formal program?
Well, actually, there's a couple things you can do. If you have been inactive for a long period of time, I actually suggest starting with short sessions, 10 to 15 minutes. And that's something you don't need a trainer to do. Find something that works within your body, biking, going for a swim, going for a walk, taking and doing your stairs in your house, going around your block. So just starting to move can actually start to build motivation, and then add 5 minutes to each session here and there. And then you gradually build up to being active, at least 30 minutes a day. So, some exercise is always better than no exercise. So I always tell folks, don't get down on yourself if you don't think you're doing the right amount, or if you're not getting your minutes in. It takes time to get into a routine, especially
Sure.
if you're new to exercise.
Sure. But there are different types of exercise, and structurally there's like cardiovascular, then there's strength training, and I've always heard stretching should be considered a part of that too, the third wheel of exercise. Is one
Yeah.
more important than the other?
So cardiovascular exercise and strength training are very different, but they're equally as important forms of exercise. So cardio challenges your cardiovascular system and your respiratory systems to increase your heart's ability to pump that blood, and your lung and your heart's ability to move that oxygen throughout your entire body. So cardio would include your fast walking, cycling, swimming, dancing, playing sports like hockey or soccer, even jump roping, playing in the park. Now, strength training uses resistance to build muscle strength and endurance. And it's also called resistance training, means the same thing. And there are several types of exercises to build your strength and endurance, including lifting weights or using weight machines. But what's cool is you can also use your body's own weight to develop some muscle mass. Push-ups, squats, crunches, even yoga and Pilates do a lot where you're bearing your own weight. So they're equally important. And then if your main goal is weight loss, you want to burn calories with the cardio, but you also want to build that muscle mass, because while you're sitting still, you burn more calories at rest when you have more muscle mass. So you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. So both should be incorporated.
Yeah, I love that part of burning calories when sitting still.
Yeah, who doesn't love that?
So as we age and bone health is a conversation, then strength training is important for that.
Both, actually, because you have, in terms of exercise, you have benefits such as mental health, mood. Studies have shown that when we exercise on a daily basis, that we prevent Alzheimer's, and we are able to use our brains in better and more efficient ways. As it pertains to, as you were saying, our bone health, strength training is also very important for that. It helps to combat weakness and frailty and the debilitating consequences that go along with that. For example, if someone has very weak quadriceps and they're unable to get themselves in or out of a chair, that's really challenging as we age, and people can lose their independence just because of that. So again, both are very important as we age.
So if you hire a trainer, how do you know if your trainer, well, how do you know that you've hired a trainer that's right for you? I mean, I'm sure you have personalities or style.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple questions you want to ask, audition your trainer. Number one is, what certifications do they have? You want to make sure at a minimum that they have a certification that's a national accredited organization, such as NASM or ACSM. That's who I'm certified through. ACE, AFA, there's a lot out there, but you want to make sure it's national and it's accredited. If you are interested in starting a yoga program, you might want to find a trainer that's certified in yoga or Pilates. For folks who have knee and joint replacements, Pilates can be a really nice way to get your strength training in that's not necessarily load or weight bearing on your lower body. The other thing is, you want to ask your trainer potentially, do they have a college degree in exercise science or physiology? Now, this is not a make it or break it. Many people without formal education in this field decide to become personal trainers, and that doesn't lessen their ability or their knowledge. However, I think it's important to know your trainer's educational background so you can better understand their level of expertise and kind of dig deep into their knowledge. The other one is, how long have they been a personal trainer? So, again, this is just for your own reference. Perhaps you do want to take a chance on, on a newbie, but, we all have to start somewhere. But, you just want to make sure that oftentimes time or experience equals more knowledge. So, just keep this in mind when you're selecting your trainer, especially if you have some issues or some injuries. That's something that's important to ask. So, and then lastly, I think this is the most important thing is, do they have any testimonials or referrals? So, you want to see if the trainer is, legitimate and trustworthy, and, and if other people are stating so. So before and after pictures or client testimonials, or, if they've been referred by a colleague, just something that kind of gets you on the inside track there.
Wow. Okay. So it's okay to exercise if you have an injury?
Absolutely. So for me, I am an aging dancer. So I have a slew of injuries. I have rotator cuff tears and, some hip problems. And of course, every dancer has feet problems. But it's important that you're working with someone that understands those injuries and understands how to make modifications for them if you don't know how to do that on your own. So it's absolutely okay to modify an exercise with an injury, but you just have to be cognizant of how you're modifying and what you're doing.
Okay, awesome. Well, no excuse then, huh? Get up one way or do something. What about online exercise programs? What do you think about those?
Oh, that's so cool. There's so many good online programs out there. Some of my favorite, I love Pop Sugar. I love Heather Robertson. There's also my mother-in-law fell and broke her hip a few months ago, and there's this great on YouTube chair yoga. So there's something for everyone out there, and there's so many good trainers that put themselves, on YouTube. In addition, for your phone, there's a lot of apps as well. There's one, it's called 7 minutes a day. That's great because it's a great way to get started and do small bite-sized amounts of exercise. And then Nike Training Program has a really good complementary app that you can use as well.
I think in these days of isolation, a lot of us are looking to do something. So online, it's good to hear that online can provide that for us.
Absolutely.
How do I ask this question? What about stretching? So do I stretch before or after I exercise? Is there one that's better than the other?
Yes, there is. That's a great question. And I feel like that's the one thing that people blow off. And it's actually one of the most important aspects of exercise. So, In general, we want to stretch every day. We want to incorporate it into our daily routine, even if we don't have time to do other exercise. And the reason why is if we're not flexible enough, our muscles won't extend their full length. And we face a greater likelihood of muscle strain, joint pain, and injury. So before a workout, it's best to do an active warm-up, something that's pumping blood, something that's moving the oxygen around 5 to 10 minutes, walking in place, jogging, just moving around. But then what we want to incorporate is something called dynamic stretching. Now, dynamic stretching is where we're moving through a range of motion. So if I was going to be doing some upper body strength training, I would be doing some arm circles, that's stretching my arm, but dynamically. So keeping that blood flow moving. Now, after a workout, that's when we want to do what we would traditionally think of stretching as that static stretching, that stretching where we're holding, whether it's, a hamstring stretch or we're stretching across our shoulder here. But we want to do those static stretches where we're holding 30 seconds or more post-workout to help with recovery and to get ready for the next workout.
Wow. Okay. So do it all, everybody. Do you have a favorite exercise program? What do you do for exercise?
So pre-COVID or post-COVID, I feel like is it BC or PC? So before COVID, I would do a mix of working out at a gym. I also taught Pilates and a bar class, but then I would also do some home workouts. During COVID, that's when I discovered all of these fantastic resources on the web. So instead of going to the yoga studio, I would do Yoga by Tim. And I actually got my husband on board with that as well. And he's doing that. The other one I really like I said, is Heather Robertson. Her workouts are fantastic. They're varied. And, there's a lot of different levels you can do. Mad Fit is another one that's good for beginners. She has a lot of beginner level workouts. But again, there's something for everyone. Again, the biggest thing is finding something you enjoy and that you're able to incorporate realistically into your schedule.
I never thought that, and I tell you what, most of my life exercise, I used to love riding bicycles. I would ride 50 to 100 miles in a week. I always liked walking through the neighborhood and things like that. But I did start working out with a trainee some years ago and found myself fitness boxing. Never thought that I would like it. Never thought in a million years that I would be in there boxing, but loved it.
That's fantastic. Yeah, again, it's just about finding something that you enjoy. Who wants to spend time doing anything that we don't, enjoy? But on the flip side, we also want to think of exercise as a habit or routine, like brushing our teeth or taking a shower. So we really want to have that mindset as well, that that's something that we just need to do every day.
Automate it. That's what Dr. Thomas Campbell.
Automate it.
You can automate and just do it.
So for example, for me, as you know, I work from home and I'm at a computer a lot per day. So what I got is a bicycle that goes underneath my desk. So right now, as I'm doing this interview with you, I'm riding my bike. So again, there's little tidbits that you can do to keep yourself active and busy. Other people like to put a timer out on their desk and every half hour get up and walk around the house or stretch their body. There's so many good, simple ways to incorporate movement into your life.
I just ordered one of those under the desk bicycle thingies.
I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
And we'll be in meetings going like this together, won't we?
We'll be swaying back and forth. But I'm telling you, Del, it's so great. My mood is better. I'm not cranky at the end of the day. I'm not like sore. So yeah, I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And it'd be good for your knees too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into exercise. I don't know why I quit. I mean, and I think that happens a lot. I tell people all the time, just don't quit, because it's harder to get started once you do.
It really is. Again, it's that automation process. So once you're out of the routine, it's no longer a part of your routine. So it's something that you think you're going to do, or but again, that's why it's really important to start off small and have very, very attainable, measurable goals. And that's where it can be really helpful to work with a personal trainer, either a live personal trainer or, over the web.
Let's talk about briefly before we go, exercise and weight loss. Which is more important, diet or exercise?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I get asked that one all the time.
Good.
We cannot outrun a bad diet. So as it pertains to weight loss, you want to think of that 80-20 rule. It really is 80% diet and 20% exercise. So it's, eating whole plant-based foods will speed up the metabolism through exercise. And so together, that's what creates that successful weight loss journey. But remember, independent of weight loss, that exercise helps reduce your risk of heart disease. And that's even compounding for weight. It helps with managing blood sugar and insulin levels, improves your mental health and your mood, and keeps you thinking and learning and judgment skills sharp as we age. So again, we don't want to just talk about weight loss, but we do need both for weight loss.
I think in my group, that's something that I try to hit home is that, weight loss is important, but we really are talking about total health here.
Absolutely.
You really have to do it all and work towards all of it. And the nice thing is the diet, as we know, benefits so many different parts of our physical health. And then add exercise to that, and you've got the whole package.
Absolutely. And again, when you take weight out of the picture, folks that are on the same weight, if you're overweight and you're eating more predominantly plant-based foods and you're exercising, you're going to have less of those issues. So again, it's not always about weight loss, but the totality of your health as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's good news for people, especially in my group. They get so focused on weight loss and weight loss and weight loss. What do I do? What do I do? And you got to keep them in the balance.
That's right. Because again, we can lose weight by really unhealthy methods. Tom Campbell said this in our course and it always has resonated me. The best way to lose weight is probably to get cancer. Does that mean that that's a good thing? Absolutely not. So again, weight loss does not always mean or lead to good health. So I always focus on adopting healthy lifestyle habits, and then generally speaking, the weight loss will come from that.
And what about working out with a friend? I think that's a kind of a good thing to do too, is to find someone to share the torch.
It's a great way to keep you accountable as well. So, if you have a plan at 7 p.m. to go for a walk with a friend, if you were just planning on doing that walk by yourself, you might, I don't need to go. But if you have someone that's holding you accountable, that can be very, very powerful. Yes, I always suggest a workout buddy if you're not working out with a trainer.
I mentioned in the introduction for you that you teach bar. What is bar?
Bar is not drinking bar. Well, it is, but not in this sense. So when I say meet me at the bar, it's BARRE. So bar is a hybrid exercise model that's based loosely off of dance and dancers exercises and Pilates and a little bit of cardiovascular and strength training all wrapped up in one. And generally speaking, you use a ballet bar for the exercises for balance and stability.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It's a great workout.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is a blast. And no dance experience necessary. No tutus needed.
Well, I in a former life wanted to be a dancer, so I might like that.
Oh, you may love it. Yes, absolutely.
And then what about Pilates? What is that for people who don't know?
So Pilates is, I say this, but loosely, it's sort of opposite of yoga in that you're really focusing on your core. So where yoga has a lot of positions where we're on our hands, and Pilates is more core strength where we're on our backs or on our stomachs. There's some stand-up positions as well, but it's a really effective model for injury recovery. Again, for all the injuries that I have sustained and had over the years of dancing, Pilates has always been a good way to get me out of those knee injuries, hip, feet, again, shoulder, you name it. But it's a great way to rehab back.
And that's certainly something a good trainer is going to know is to keep your form correct in whatever you do so that you don't injure yourself.
Yes. So form is really important. So again, if you're brand new to exercise, I would suggest, working with a trainer just to make sure that, you're staying safe and you are staying productive and efficient, that what you're doing is the best workout that you could be doing, best allocation of time.
Awesome. Now I saw on your, my introduction for you, there was one more thing that you taught, HIIT.
Oh, HIIT. Yes. So high intensity training. So it's high intensity interval training. So, and you can do this with low impact as well. So basically there's many different types of methods out there, but it's a period of time on where you're working your hardest and then you take a break for 10 to 20 seconds, whether that's jumping jacks or squats or lunges or even crunches, going all out and then taking a rest. So
I've
yeah,
done
high
that.
intensity
I
interval.
don't like it.
Yeah, and if it's not your gig, that
Oh my
again, it's
goodness.
just finding what works for you.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, what else? Did I miss anything?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't think you did. Again, the key is just get that body moving in any way that you can.
Very cool. Well, Jill, thank you very, very much. I think the group's going to love this. And I hope we get to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you, Jill. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.